I'm more as pleased to welcome you all here in Warsaw today. It's a true honor for me to have such multiple and outstanding guests on this conference. I present myself. My name is Maciej Kania. I am from the board from Polish Equestrian Federation, and I am responsible for cooperating with foreign federation. I am from foreign affairs. And the next day we discuss topics what will help equestrian centers and clubs to develop adequate structures on their roadmaps for education purposes. Furthermore, we will find opportunities to compare different approaches and analyze potentials for cooperation, including sportsmen, breeders, education centers, and national and international organizations. This conference is co-financed by the European Union Human Capital National Cohesion Strategy and Social Fund from the Human Capital Program 2007-2013. The project was realized by Polish Equestrian Federation in partnership with Polish Horse Breeders Association, German Riding School in Warendorf, Riding School in Ipala in Finland, and Equestrian Council of Champagne-Ardenne region in France. I am truly not fan for long speeches, so I am more than glad to hand over to the main organizer of this event, Mr. Maciej Kania, and our first speaker, Madame Delphine Herbeau from Conseil des Chevaux de Champagne-Ardenne. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Yes, I was actually, because we were at the very end of the project, I was the coordinator of the project. And I'd like to go quickly through all the challenges we had to take, and all the questions we kept asking at the beginning, before, during, after, and all the time, and for another 5 or 10 years perhaps. Why we have started this? Well, a couple of years ago we started to talk about horse breeders technician. Very important subject, but for some reason there was no cooperation really between the federations and the schools. And we were aware of challenges. We were aware that there's a lot to be done to improve the program, to get the people prepared for work after. Happily, around 2010, 2011, there started to be some calls for proposals for innovative projects with with option of international cooperation. So we went to Germany. We started to talk to Warendorf. They were very open to help us. And they said, oh, you want to do it in 2-3 years? It's 10 years at least. And this was one of the most important things at the beginning, and during the project, because it's true, it's not, we had to know, and we are aware of that now even more, that it's not something you can do over 1 year. Some people might think, well, one target, one thing to do. Make up the program, easy. Introduce the program into the system. There are a couple of ministers, they should be open to talk to us, to listen to us. But of course, like with everything, more questions you ask, more problems and challenges you find. We have one specialty related to horses. And our problem was from the beginning that the specialty was strongly related to agriculture. When we wanted to introduce something related to sport. The Ministry of Sport was very nice to us, but they were always saying they're not interested in education. So that was the beginning of the biggest challenges, actually. We were aware that the program which was at the beginning, a couple of years ago, was based on theory only. I won't tell you how many hours of practical work and writing students had, not because I don't remember, but because it's a kind of shame for me, because it was a disaster from our point of view. We had a bit of luck, actually, because more or less at the same time there were some changes introduced into the system of vocational education. It wasn't exactly what we expected, of course. If that was the case, the project wouldn't have any sense. But all the schools got much more freedom in shaping their programs, which meant we found, surprisingly for us actually even, that it was much easier to introduce the changes we wanted to make. One of the problems was also that even if the schools were aware of the need of practical work, practical placements, work placements, generally the system was also based on big state-owned companies. The market is growing quickly. There are a lot of changes coming and going, which make us obviously happy. But we can also observe that more and more big, important, but private companies. And that's also something new to the education system. And to all of us, be fairness. We have now 300,000 people riding horses in Poland. It's of course estimation. We don't know exactly. We have 2,000 companies in horse industry. And we are in a very special place. Most of people abroad, I found it out myself, most of people abroad, when they hear the name Mazowsze or Mazovia, then they don't know where it is. It's actually a big region of 5 million people, with the city of Warsaw in the middle, the biggest GDP, gross domestic product, excuse me, in this country. It's around 15% of Polish population and 25% of equestrian centers which are registered in the Polish Federation. We have to be aware that we have, like many of your federations as well, we have the system of registering equestrian centers and checking their level of infrastructure of trainers, but they have to make the effort to ask about it, to take the examinations, let's call it. They have to pay for it. So it's not obvious that all the centers take it. This map was made, so it's not great maybe, I made it myself. I just used it for our meetings at the beginning of the project. There was, I think, 12 equestrian centers around Warsaw registered that time. Now it's 19. So we are talking about amazing growth. We have also checked the situation on the market. Believe it or not, 2 years ago we found 2 people having specialized education, vocational education in this area, working in equestrian and breeding centers around Warsaw. Perhaps today it's not much better. However, only thanks to the project, we probably created some 500% of growth. Because most of our students today, I know whether thanks to the school which has done a great job, but maybe also thanks to the students themselves, most of our students today work in the equestrian centers around Warsaw. Some of the key elements would be, of course, recruiting proper people and creating a program which allowed them to develop their passion. We can obviously discuss the matter, but personally I believe that people must love what they do. How I said at the beginning, we were aware of having a couple of years of work ahead. And I have no doubt we haven't finished, and we won't finish this work probably for another 5-10 years. But we started something. At least we started the discussion. We've got some options tested. We proved that some changes work. And what's also important, we set some, well, not some actually, quite good cooperation between federations and schools. I'm not saying it's also done, it's ready, but even the fact that there are people from schools over here, that we know each other, we started talking about it. Sometimes we are arguing. That's already, believe me or not, it's already a great improvement comparing to what it used to be like. So I believe we are at the beginning, actually. What we tried to do over the project and what we keep talking about with ministries of sport and agriculture, it's obviously and with the schools also, since they have, how I said, more freedom today. Sometimes the county offices. We are all talking about introducing more practical work, which obviously wouldn't be possible without cooperation with equestrian centers. So we have to develop certain system of cooperation between the schools and employers. And probably every case would be different in this area. We are talking also about even exchanging some subjects. We are talking even about a new specialty and setting some cooperation between federation, better cooperation between federation, employers and schools. I said at the beginning about the Germans, about Warendorf. The Deutsche Reitschule was very important for us from the beginning. Later we've got also plenty of help with program, particularly from the Equine College of Ipaja in Finland, close to Helsinki. And for some time, we already started to cooperate also with the French side, with the, how do you pronounce it? Champagne-Ardenne.
Conseil des chevaux des Champagne-Ardenne.
Thank you for your French. they were also extremely helpful for us at the end of the project, and they keep doing great things now. We don't have central riding center today yet, like Warendorf, Ipaja, or Saumur. Thank you. We used to have Grudziądz. Many people miss it, but it's gone. But we have some training system which is actually, which has actually very good opinion in Poland. We complain a lot about it, but I think it's not as bad as some people think. And we really want to change something. Sorry for this silly picture, but it became kind of famous in this region 2 or 3 years ago because it happened to be on many folders, I don't know why, of this province. Partners. Probably arose more questions than answers I've given. But I would like to ask Delphine Bo to say just 2 words about yourself and about the great thing we are doing now, the work placement. Thank you.
We ask Delphine Herbeau from France, here on the stage.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Just a short presentation about what we are, Host Council, because it's an association that doesn't exist in all the countries. So we have 4 members in the Host Council that are the sport and leisure, so the breeding and uses. We have the Ardennais work horses that are the draft horses, also with breeding and uses, the racing industry, trotting and thoroughbreds and trotters, and all the other activities that are related to the equestrian industry, meaning vets, farriers, and everything. So this host council was created in France. You have one in each region, and we were created because the political institution asked to have just one single representative of the equine industry in each region. So they were able to just have one professional association to help them within the funds that they were giving in each region. So we are only 3 host councils that are now working at international level. So you've got Normandy, Champagne-Ardenne, and also the north of France. So in between our cooperation with the Polish Federation, we were asked to organize some internships for around 10 students from 18 to 30 years old. So these internships will take place in the Champagne-Ardenne region. If you don't know, the region is where the champagne is made, and the main city is called Reims. So these students will come from April to August, most of them from 3 weeks to 2 months. And the places will depend on the interest of each student. So most of the places would be equestrian centers, clubs, trainers for dressage, eventing or jumping, depending what they are asking for. And most of them will have the chance to assist to the local championship of the 3-year-old Français horses that will take place at the end of April. So we are really glad to have those students coming, and we really hope that it will be a nice experience for each of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Maciej. Thank you, Delphine. Now welcome Ben Myers from United Kingdom, who will take us through veterinary, welfare and biosecurity aspects of riding clubs activity. Ben Myers, welcome.